Let me first wish you and my brothers on the panel and all our viewers a happy new year. This is my first appearance on the new day in the year, and so it's only proper for me to wish.
Have you spoken to Chairman Prosper this year?
Yes, yesterday I spoke to Chairman Prosper, and let me also wish all the good people of Ketu North a great year, and I pray that the year will be very good to us. Roland, sincerely, I am only going to make a comment on the press conference held by the minority in Parliament yesterday, only because you have tabled it for discussion. Otherwise, I would have said that there are many more serious issues for us to discuss on this important platform. Since 2025 January, the NPP minority and the NPP as a political party has organized many press conferences. And yesterday's own, organized by my very good friend, Nana Asafo-Adjei. In fact, I spoke to Nana Asafo-Adjei this morning, and I can tell you, Roland, that yesterday's press conference was the most useless. The most useless,
what do you mean by useless?
The most reckless conference that they have ever organized. Because it is a press conference that lacks substance. It's a press conference that they use the platform to maliciously go after the foreign minister for nothing. It was the most useless press conference they have ever organized. We can go into the issues, and I have the press conference, the full press statement here with me. Roland, it is okay in politics to try and copy. It is okay to try and model after an exceptional politician. It is okay for the NPP, especially Asafo-Adjei and his colleagues on the Foreign Affairs Committee, to try and copy what the Honorable Ablakwa did when he was ranking. But if you cannot paste, don't copy, because when the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa was ranking member on Foreign Affairs, we saw the diligence and the seriousness with which he carried his work. So if today we have some low-budget Ablakwas moving around, organizing press conferences on issues that are very important, issues that we can, with a simple click, check the veracity of those issues, then they have to learn well. Roland, I would have applauded the minority if yesterday's press conference was to force their former finance minister to return to this country and give accountability to the good people of Ghana. I would have taken them serious if their press conference was asking for the removal of Ablakwa because maybe he recklessly led the demolition of an embassy like they did to the Bulgarian embassy in 2022. I would have applauded them if their so-called press conference and the call for Ablakwa's removal was linked to the selling of Ghana's properties and embassies abroad. But you organized a whole press conference, invited the media, journalists were there, just to waste our time and ask that Honorable Ablakwa be removed because a country has decided to impose some sanctions on 75 countries. The bare logic, minimum logic is that, are they saying that the other 74 countries that have been listed by Trump or by the United States in the visa sanctions that they are talking about, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is the Foreign Affairs Minister in all those 75 countries? Is that the logic? Again, when you want to organize a press conference on matters of this nature, it is important to understand the nuances of international relations, international law, and diplomacy. As far back as November 2025, the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, in fact, prior to his becoming president for the first time, everybody who follows international politics understood his philosophy when it comes to the U.S. relationship with other countries. In fact, there was a point he was proposing building the wall, the Great Wall, to prevent immigrants or people
from Mexico
yes, people he believed were not qualified to live in the United States from entering the United States. And so that is the philosophy of the President of the United States. And he announced that the embassies must ensure that before you enter into the United States of America, you must be financially self-sufficient and some other conditions. So if the country moves to impose some sanctions and restrict the movement of people into their country, you are calling for the head of your foreign affairs minister and describes his diplomacy as reckless diplomacy and banding words around. I mean, the minority in Parliament, especially those on the Foreign Affairs Committee, they should go back to between 2017 all the way to 2024. Take all the press conferences and the press statements released by the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. They should study, they should learn. Because if you want to copy and appear serious, then they must do better. Because what Asafweje did yesterday is my very good friend. It's the most useless press conference any minority group can ever organize. But what is this? What is the merit of the issues that they have raised? Point to one particular thing in the press conference that is a serious matter that even warrants a discussion on your platform. The most useless press conference, because all the things that he mentions, again, yesterday they entered into a trajectory that I will even be surprised if anybody will want to speak to defend them. Number one, I'll just give you two or three. Number one, they created the impression that because our country, our foreign policy has always been, we are non-aligned. So we are neither with the East nor the West, but we only face forward, as espoused by Dr. Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah. Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So because we are non-aligned, it means that the country cannot even make a comment on international.
Yeah, because the cyber incident.
That is not the meaning of non-alignment. And I would urge them to read all the books written by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Non-alignment simply means that when two countries, say two countries are at each other, they are at war, Ghana as a country will not align with one country against the other. But that does not mean that Ghana cannot speak to issues of international rights violations. That does not mean that Ghana cannot speak to issues of human rights abuse. That does not mean that Ghana cannot ask
the main question
that all the parties...
So in relation to that, they
don't understand.
Yeah, so
they simply do not understand.
That the premise on which they are making the point is that apart from Ghana always having a non-aligned position when it comes to its confrontation on the subject of international relations.
Exactly, yes.
Because of the Cold War and the existing issues that had transpired before the collapse of the Soviet Union. They say that these are key global powers. And so if you make such comments, a small country like Ghana, literally trying to explain or water it down, it also means that you are waking a dead whale or a sleeping lion.
Roland, that position is flawed. Because Ghana is in the Committee of Nations. Anything that affects the global stage, anything that happens globally, has implications on us. And as an independent and as a sovereign state, Ghana is within its right to state its position on matters affecting global affairs. That does not mean that we are aligning. It is alignment only when you choose a particular side and you are saying, but look at all the press conferences or the statements released by Ghana through the Foreign Affairs Minister. We have always spoken only to issues of human rights and ensuring that domestic rights or municipal laws are respected. And so when you go and organize a press conference and you espouse some of these positions, it only tells us that we should thank God again and again for removing these people from power in December 2024. Because if these are the kind of, this is the kind of thinking that will underpin their relationship with other countries, it means that the country is not sovereign after all. And I am a student of political science. I know Dr. Zato is a lecturer in political science. Dr. Zato will he tell us this morning that per the logic of his minority, when he stands before his political science class, international politics class, and he's giving reasons why Trump imposed visa sanctions on countries, he will call Honorable Ablakwa's utterances or press statements as the cause. The most reckless, the most useless press conference ever is what Asafo and the minority did yesterday. And I will tell them again, if you want to copy well. You cannot be low budget Ablakwa and be going around. Ablakwa, let me tell you, I have had the opportunity to work with Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa for more than 4 years as his research assistant. Sometimes, as late as 12 midnight, 1 a.m., the gentleman will be reading, researching, and so before he comes out. And that is why till today, when he was ranking member, every issue, every expose, every statement for Honorable Ablakwa till today, they cannot even refute a single one because of the diligence and the seriousness that went into those press conferences. So if you want to copy him, come, we will teach you the model, we will give you the formula. Be ready to be diligent. Subject yourself to rigorous learning, rigorous research, meticulousness. You cannot be low budget Ablakwa and be going around organizing useless press conferences that they did yesterday. This year, we have all agreed to be serious. The MPP in Parliament, especially that Foreign Affairs Committee,
why you tag their press conference as useless?
It is useless and unserious. Very, very useless.
Your own colleague and friend.
I am telling him, he's my friend. I told him even this morning I spoke to, if I had a press statement, I called him to send it to me for me to read through. And I am telling, I know he's watching the show.
Press conference.
I have it here, the press statement. Right. And I'm telling him that yesterday is the most useless press conference that they have ever organized.
And concerns have been raised, even from the former president going to Washington, raising issues about Burkina Faso and so-called its harboring of Wagner forces, etc. We're also told that was undiplomatic. Subsequently, we have this criticism coming from this minority. What do you say? Political science lecturer.
Thank you. We've had ministers of foreign affairs in this country that every Ghanaian can be proud of. We've had ministers of foreign affairs in this country. Every Ghanaian can beat your chest and say, yes, I'm proud to have Victor Behu as my minister of foreign affairs. I'm proud to have Victor Obed Asamoah as my minister of foreign affairs. I'm proud to have Mohamed Mumini as my minister of foreign affairs. I'm proud to have Nana Addo Akufo-Addo as my minister of foreign affairs. And I am proud to have Shirley Ayoko Boche as my minister of foreign affairs. And then today, what we have got is, to quote my friend here, a low-budget Ablakwa. Not even the normal Ablakwa.
The man himself is low budget.
What Ghana has now is that our chief diplomat is not only the Ablakwa that was in Parliament, but a low-budget Ablakwa. How did we descend? How did we degenerate here to now be led by our chief diplomat being a low-budget Ablakwa, not even the only Ablakwa?
What do you mean by he himself?
I didn't say low-budget Ablakwa. He said, you didn't ask him to explain it, so you cannot tell me. Okay. He said we have a low-budget Ablakwa.
I'll ask you the question.
Why do you realize that in Kwame Ghana?
Why do you say he's a low-budget of himself?
Our Minister of Foreign Affairs is a low-budget version of himself. That's a shame. That's a disgrace.
Okay. So why? What are your points?
When we sit down and we see how we have degenerated and our diplomacy has suffered over the years, I now realize why. Because he was the research assistant to the man, and he's now telling us that even the version we have is a low-budget version of that man. And that is a shame. Look,
I said
so many things have happened.
It's a low version of
you see.
Yeah, but you need to correct him.
Please, respect yourself. Don't do that.
Don't say that.
I've said
I'm correcting you because
I've said respect yourself.
You can give the viewers.
Edem, respect yourself.
Respect
yourself. You said we have a low-budget Ablakwa. You said
low-budget Ablakwa.
Edem,
but you are saying that Ablakwa is a low version of himself.
You said we have a low-budget Ablakwa as Minister of Foreign Affairs. You said
no, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. No.
That's what you said.
That's correct him before you move on. No. Roland must correct that before you move on.
Here I am. No. About to talk. I didn't do that to you.
Roland,
I respected you even though you didn't deserve it. I respected you even though you didn't deserve it. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing.
You don't deserve
Look at what you're doing.
You need to quote me. No. I will not let you misquote me. That will not happen.
That's fine.
Yes, I never said that.
Edem, that's fine.
Yes, so correct him before he moves on. I insist on that.
So what he did say was that
yes,
the position that was taken and the action that was undertaken by the ranking, is it ranking on the Foreign Affairs Committee?
Your ranking, yes,
was a version of what Okudzeto Ablakwa did while in opposition, and that they are a low version of what he exhibited. I mean, just to explain what he said.
Exactly. So
I'm happy that today.
I didn't say that.
He didn't say.
Because maybe somebody joined the show late.
I am happy that today.
You need to correct yourself. No, it's important, Roland. Somebody may have joined the show late.
I understand.
And may
I understand.
could live with the impression
let me moderate
that
the show, please.
Because no, you can't say what I didn't say.
Please. Okay. So
no, but he should be able to say that he got it wrong.
He didn't describe.
I didn't say that.
But the foreign minister.
To be fair to me, you need to state before you move on. I insist.
Please, more. And I'm asking
this year
you the
you have
question.
to be serious.
And I'm asking you the question.
You have to be serious this year.
So he never said that.
I didn't say that.
Now,
so don't say what I didn't say.
Now, two, why do you posit those points?
Today, we are being led by low-budget Ablakwa as the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And you can show one of the first things that this minister did, these are not my words. I heard the low-budget Ablakwa was introduced into this debate by Edem. You are the Member of Parliament for Ketu North.
Yes.
And you told us that you were the personal assistant to the Prime Minister.
A proud
and you
one
told us that we have a low-budget Ablakwa. It's low-budget Ablakwa day we have today.
No. You see,
now,
Roland,
one of the first things this low-budget Ablakwa did when he came was to pick up a fight with the chairman of the Senate, Armed Forces Roland,
Dr. Zato must be serious on this platform.
Are one of the most powerful.
He must be serious because you can't attribute what I didn't say to me. Why are you finding it difficult? You can play back. It's as simple as that.
That's
viewers are watching. You are a lecturer. You need to respect the viewers. You are supposed to be a lecturer. You're supposed to respect the viewers. You cannot attribute to me what I did not say. So make your point. I said, and I will say it again, that your ranking as Afoeje, my very good friend, is becoming a low version, a low budget Ablakwa. You cannot say I said Ablakwa is a low version of himself. Others are sending me tests that he is the Ablakwa from Temu. So I beg you, don't misquote me. Whatever I said, repeat it, and I'm a man of my words. So you cannot, if you cannot find points to defend your unserious, reckless press conference that you organized yesterday, don't find words, misquote me and trying to build a point on that. So build your own point.
Dr. Zato.
Roland, you see what
it's 2026. I want you to understand.
But you are misquoting me. Why Dr. Zato? You are sitting down here and you are allowing Edem to run amok here. You are sitting down here and allowing Edem to run amok here. And I am not saying that I'm a lecturer.